Let's talk a little bit about Winter Pride, because Winter
Yeah.
Pride is new. It just started earlier this year. What was your take on it? Do you feel like it was successful? Maybe Winter Pride for next year? What's happening?
Sure. I feel like it was hugely successful. A first year of doing anything of that size and scale. I had planned events. I was in charge of major conferences for thousands of people with Darden. And so planning big events was in my wheelhouse. And I would tell you, overwhelmed is the smallest of words I could use for what we went through as we got closer and closer to those events. You know, it sounded so easy, a week of events, you know, all of this stuff. And it was overwhelming, truly overwhelming. And it makes you, I've always respected the group at St. Pete Pride, but in any Pride organization, it makes you respect them even more because it is truly a feat. One, you're raising funds to hopefully do it all for free for, again, the public and the education of it, and to energize what is our community to stay focused on our purpose, right? Which is being fought every day in legislature and our current administration. So it's highly important to keep a focus on the community, and typically we do that through celebration because it helps people move on and helps motivate people. And so we know it's a great cause. We know, again, it's about going back to why we do what we do, which is providing experiences for people that we didn't have when we grew up. And so it was a great success. And before we even finished, we had sponsors that said, wow, we are impressed with this, and stood up. And we had 4 presenting sponsors already, and that's a $50,000 commitment.
I've seen that.
And we've had that and beyond. And we also have founding members that were, you know, confident enough in year 1 to say, we're going to give you $1,000 a year for the rest of this thing. And they're committed and they love it. And so it gives you energy when you feel that. I mean, it was financially a big, you know, when you start anything, you're self-funding, right? And so it was financially a big commitment. Yeah, you guys know about that. And so it's you got to be committed to it, right? It's either do it or not. And so you're in and you say you're going to do it, you do it. But we have had such a great response, and there's so many partnerships that have come about because of it. You know, Fort Lauderdale Pride wanting to partner and opening their arms to say, how can we help you? And all of that kind of thing. And St. Pete Pride and our partnership we had already established with them. And so we just had it's been a good journey. The bigger piece I would say is the public of anything new is critical. And so that's been the harder part of it, but that's been the harder part with any of the businesses that we've opened. The LGBTQ community, for some reason, is highly critical of their own people, and it's tough. It's daily. You have to reset your kind of your thoughts around how you're going to make it through the day with such criticism of what's going on. Because I would tell you, we have straight people that come in our bars all the time and come up to us and say, you guys are doing amazing things. We get torn down more by people that are in our own community that we don't have many spaces to celebrate with. And I would tell you, I would fight for every space that we have that is orientated around our community to keep it open.
Right now, especially right now.
And we need to bond together. And I look at a model like P-Town or Wilton Manors, there's strength in numbers. Like it will bring more people of our community to enjoy our city and what we have to offer. And so it's a win for us. It's, you know, it's just the criticalness of it is the part that can stifle your creativity and get you down.
So I agree. I thought Winter Pride was, you know, a big success. And in fact, the first episode, we actually ran a poll saying, you know, is there room for, you know, 3 major Pride events? And overwhelmingly, everyone said absolutely yes. And I think it's very important to stress and underline that, you know, we should all be joining together right now and partnering up as much 100%. As we possibly can because the political environment is so, you know, against our community right now, especially the trans community, that now is the time not to be divided, but for us to all join
come
together and help each
Absolutely.
other out. So
One of the big guiding kind of principles to Winter Pride when we started was we want to have other businesses involved, especially LGBTQ owned businesses.
Yeah.
And so we had a party, and we hosted a party, for hundreds of people to come in and talk about it and say, how can you get involved? And there was a lot of interest in the beginning. And then when it came to rubber meeting the road, we had people dialing back like, oh, do we have time to do that? Again, everything's a time commitment. So our goal was to not have hardly any of it at Cocktail or, every business benefits off of an event
absolutely.
in town.
Right.
Yeah.
Where we had to make decisions as a group, as a leadership group for that brand is we had to say where if we're self-funding, where is it? And it's not free, but where is it free to do?
Right.
And there are certain inherent costs that are free to do at, say, Cocktail. If we have a party there, we have lights, sound, we have production, we have all of that already done. And so we have insurance already. So there are a lot of factors that if somebody hasn't thrown an event like that go into stuff like that. And people think like, oh, why wasn't this involved? Why wasn't that? We had other bars sign up and then back out in the 12th hour. And so our goal is to continue to welcome other bars into the fold, other businesses into the fold, to say, how can you get involved? How can you, support these, the people who benefited this year. We chose our beneficiaries to be focused around the trans community because we feel as though
awesome. Yeah.
they
That
are
is
being
great.
so targeted.
Yeah.
And so, we gave to legal counsel one of the biggest donations for an event when we were done, and we let the individuals who raised the most money really route kind of where it went within that cause. But and so they did great things. We gave to we donated the bus that took everybody to Tallahassee to go there for the legislative session that was really attacking, again, the trans community more than all of us. But
Right.
and so we've really held that true as our principle this year to try to help that underserved